I'm Brad from Cove, and I lead our negotiation strategies practice. I'm here with another 2-minute tip on negotiation strategies for creative agencies. Term and termination provisions are an absolutely vital part of agency-client agreements, but they're too often not given the focus that they deserve. Also, term and termination is the absolute worst of Jane Austen's novels. But I digress. Today's video focuses on term provisions. Now, deal term is when a deal starts and ends. Project term is when a project term starts and ends. And if you're doing a simple project agreement, one agreement for one project, that's really simple. Those terms are going to line up. But if you're operating under a master services agreement where multiple projects may be handled in separate statements of work, well then term can be a little bit trickier. In that instance, the start date of the master agreement needs to be on or before the start date of the first project. And the end date of the deal should not be any earlier than the end date of the last project to be performed. Now, it's not unusual to see a fixed end date in a master services agreement, say the deal ends December 31, but this can sometimes lead to situations where the MSA expires because no one is paying attention to that end date. And an expired MSA can lead to enforcement issues. It can lead to project delays while we try to renegotiate or reactivate the MSA, or it can result in projects being pulled and placed out to bid. So, tip number 1, use an evergreen provision or an automatic renewal provision as the deal end date in your master agreement. Using those approaches keeps the deal alive until one or both of the parties takes an active step to end the deal. Tip number 2, operationalize deal and project terms. Make sure there's at least one person in your agency who is paying attention to those dates. This will ensure that you do not start performing services before the term has started, continue performing services after a deal or project term has expired, or initiate a new project under an expired agreement. All of those things can lead to big headaches for your agency. Thanks, and have an amazing day. Like this one.